Good evening, everyone. You are listening to Common Ground Radio on the Air Nation Radio Network. Thank you for joining us this evening. Make sure you log on to airnationradio.com and download all our past shows so you can listen to them whenever and wherever you'd like. Also, you can check out our past shows on iHeartRadio. Go to iHeart.com, type in Air Nation Radio in the search bar, and you'll find us under the Talk Show category. We're glad you're spending part of your Sunday with us. We hope you had a great weekend. For those who may be new to our show, we are a Days of Our Lives discussion show where we talk about the past week in Salem, give you spoilers, and more. I'm Misty, and on the line with us, as always, is the host, Brandon.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, everybody. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I know around here it's pretty cold. It's starting to feel like winter.
Yeah. I know, here too.
I can't stand it. I'm not ready. I don't want it. Oh, my.
Me either.
Okay, so before we get into our discussion, it's time for our tweets of the week. Misty will give you her 3 favorites of this past week from the day stars, past and present, and I will give you a few of mine as well. I think we'll have Misty start us out this week.
Okay. Mine is a 2-part tweet from James Scott. He plays E.J. DeMira, of course. If you want to follow him, he is at I Am James Scott. He says, thought for you all. What are the big questions you wish you knew the answers to? Then he said, here's one for me. What would the world look like if we taught wisdom over knowledge? He was very in-depth.
That really makes you think.
I know. I was like, holy crap, that is a big question.
Huh. Now I'm going to think about that for a while. That's interesting.
And I never did say, because I couldn't come up with anything that I thought was like smart enough.
Oh, geez.
So I was like, I'll let him just keep his little knowledge there.
Oh, boy. All right. My first one is from Freddie Smith, who plays Sonny, of course. If you'd like to follow him at Freddie M. Smith. Teaching Alyssa Tabbitt to play Grand Theft Auto 5. Let's just say, if we were to rob a bank, she would not be the getaway driver. And just so you all know, Alyssa is Freddie's girlfriend in real life. I just found that kind of
funny. That is pretty funny. He's funny anyway. Like, I'll see some of his stuff and I'm like, yeah. Okay. My second one is Jim Lilly, of course. Obviously. She said, if you want to follow her, it's at Jen_Lily. She says, I just read that last year, 4,153,237 people got married. I don't want to start any trouble, but shouldn't that be an even number? I know, right?
Oh, my gosh.
I was like, oh, my gosh, why isn't that an even number?
She's so clever.
I know.
I mean, I wouldn't have thought of that, but, I mean, I mean, one of these days, we're just going to do a whole show just on Jen Lilly's tweets. I mean, we could.
Yes.
Okay, and my next one is not from a past or present. Right now, maybe we will see him. Anyways, Guy Wilson, who will be taking over the role of Will Horton come January. You can follow him on Twitter at the Guy Wilson. He said, Jen Lilly, my very godmother, she would be the most amazing cupcakes at my B-Day. Now, I couldn't do the tweet justice because he typed it all in caps, and there were words in there that I couldn't do justice. But this past week was Guy's birthday, and I think he was 29, turned 28 or 29. And I noticed that Jen Lilly does bake a lot. I remember for Casey Moss's birthday a few weeks ago, she made him a cake. What do I have to do to get her to make me a cake?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you should ask her. I'm sure she would. She is one of the ones that will either favorite your tweet or respond to your tweet. Never fails. Doesn't matter what it is. She'll favorite or she'll respond. She's awesome.
She wants you to know that
I love her.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. My last one is Sean Christian, but it's a 2-parter because first, Jen Lilly tweeted to Casey Moss, happy birthday at Casey Moss, at one Casey Moss. Welcome to your 20s, hot stuff. And then then Sean Christian responded to that and said, yes, I second that. Just take out the hot stuff. Cool, dude.
I was going to ask. I thought you were going to say that Sean Christian tweeted Casey Mossack calling him hot stuff. Okay, I'm glad I got the clarification.
Yeah, Jim Lilly called him hot stuff, and then he seconded it, but he wanted to take out the hot stuff and put in cool dude.
Okay.
So,
okay, that makes sense.
If you want to follow Sean, he's at Sean C. for real.
I'm sorry. I just couldn't help it. Okay. That's all the tweets we have for this week. And by the way, if you would like to follow any of the day's cast members, I believe we have a link on our Facebook page to every day's cast member current on our page on Facebook, so be sure to check that out. All right, so just a reminder, if you would like to call in and discuss anything about last week's days, the number is 347-215-8427. Call in whenever you have something you'd like to talk about. I am going to get the discussion started this week with Monday's show, and I think what I'd like to talk about for Mondays, focus on Teresa, because she had a visitor, well, two visitors, so to speak. So, at the Brady Pub, Teresa is there, and she asked her grandma Caroline why she put a closed sign on the door. Because she got there, and it was like the middle of the day, and it was closed, so it was kind of odd.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as she walked in and asked Caroline that, from behind, back in the kitchen counter area, Shane and Kimberly appear. So, welcome back, Shane and Kimberly.
Yay!
Teresa.
I love Patsy, or wait, yeah, her name's Patsy, right? Patsy. Her eyes, they're just gorgeous. Sorry, I just had to say that. I love her eyes. I was like, she's still got those same looking like cat-colored eyes. They're just awesome. Okay, you can continue.
Okay, where was I? Let's see. Teresa asked what's going on with them, because I think, let's see, her parents appeared, and then also Kayla, Hope, and Roman. Her parents embrace her, and Shane says that they're very worried about her. Kayla, this is the point at which Kayla, Hope, and Roman had appeared. Roman says that they're worried as well about Teresa. And it didn't take long for Teresa, because she's a pretty clever lady. Teresa realizes that this is an intervention, and she already knows that she's messed up. And she doesn't need her family members to tell her that she's messed up, which I can see. I mean, I can understand how she would, because I'm sure that her family in the past has been on her about her situation. So I can see why she would be so upset. Hope says they've heard it before, which it makes sense. I'm sure she's probably said that she's going to change, and she hasn't. But, I mean, what are you going to do? Roman wants her to admit that she needs help, and to get it. Otherwise, she will lose their support. It doesn't take long after this. Teresa admits that she has an issue, and she says that she will go to AA. But she becomes more upset when her parents bring up returning to California. And they argue back and forth for quite some time. And Teresa complains that they're throwing her to the wolves, so to speak. Because, if you remember right, if she returns to California, her probation will be revoked, and she'll be heading right to the clink. And I'm not sure that prison is a place where Teresa can survive. So, I'm not sure that would be the best move. Anyways, Kimberly says that she nearly died. And if I remember right, Kimberly said this about 2 or 3 times to Teresa during her 3 days on the show. And she says that can't happen again. Shane decides to take Teresa outside and talk with her. And Teresa thanks Shane for getting her away from all the drama inside the pub, and her mom especially. But Shane warns her not to try to play him against Kimberly. He said it's not going to happen. He rants to Teresa about her actions since she has been in Salem. But then Teresa decides to complain to him about his absence throughout her whole entire life. Shane says that she can't guilt him, even though we know that Shane wasn't around for a lot of Teresa's life. But anyways, I guess that's beside the point. Inside, the others vow to get through to Teresa. Kimberly says that she should have done better as a mother. Shane gets Kimberly and tells Teresa to wait with the others. They'll be back. And Caroline coaxes Teresa to come back inside and cooperate with the rest of them. And Teresa talks with Kayla about her job and blames Jennifer. That's kind of very broad. I didn't really get into much detail about scene by scene. But anyways, I believe Shane and Kimberly had received a call, or they called someone. I'm not sure which way it worked that way. And they had to leave. But they didn't tell Teresa why they had to leave and who they were talking to. Anyways.
We find out later.
Right. Correct. So I guess I can get right into that. I forgot about that. Kimberly and Shane appear on the doorstep of Jennifer's house. Jennifer isn't there, but JJ is, so Kim and Shane introduce themselves to JJ as Teresa's parents. JJ agrees. JJ seems a little shocked, a little bit scared. I don't think he knows how much that Kim and Shane know about what Teresa has been up to. JJ agrees to tell Jennifer that they need to talk to her. After they leave, JJ curses and grabs his jacket and heads out the door to go talk to Jennifer, of course. So Kim and Shane return to the Brady pub, and Teresa wants to know the verdict on returning to California. But you will not find the verdict out by the end of Monday's show. You'll have to tune in for Tuesdays. Let me just backtrack a little bit. Talk a little bit about Jennifer. Jennifer was at the hospital. She went to work, surprisingly, for one day. And Karen had apologized to her about spreading rumors about Teresa and Dr. Jonas. Jennifer thanked her. And then JJ appeared and says that Teresa's parents want to talk to her. So it wasn't too far after that JJ left and went to the hospital to tell Jennifer about Kim and Shane wanting to talk to Jennifer. And Jennifer kind of seems, what's the word? I don't want to use annoyed, but she seems, I can't think of the word, but she doesn't seem happy, I guess is the best word to use. She's not happy. So, that's all I want to talk about in depth about Monday's days. The other things that happened that I did not talk about were Sammy had a dream about EJ, and I'm sure that if Misty was doing Mondays, this is what she would have been talking about. Sammy had a dream of EJ apologizing to her, and they were in bed, and then she wakes up. She goes downstairs and finds Johnny fighting with the butler, playing a lightsaber fight with Harold. Harold, right?
Yeah,
Henderson? Harold. Okay.
No, Harold.
Harold, okay. So EJ decides to meet with Justin in the park to propose that they work together, but that didn't go over too well for EJ. Back at the apartment, at Will and Sonny's apartment, that is, Will questions Gabby about her reluctance to do the modeling thing, and he tells her how glad he is that he went to school, and therefore he thinks that she should go for it. Let's see. I didn't get into this much, but Jennifer and JJ had a nice get-together, or a nice discussion at home, I guess you could say. Gabby had met with Justin to talk about her contract to see if it was legit. She wanted to get Justin to represent her, but that didn't go over too well. Justin denied that, thankfully. And I think that covers it for Monday's days. That's all I have.
Okay. Tuesday, I'm going to talk about, again, JJ and Jennifer and Daniel and Teresa and Shane and Kimberly. That storyline. So, like how you said, JJ had ran to the hospital to tell Jennifer that Shane and Kimberly were in town and wanted to talk to her. That's how this storyline started on Tuesday. Daniel was walking down the hallway. Jennifer was already flustered by the fact that Shane and Kimberly wanted to talk to her. She wasn't sure why, and now she's seeing Daniel in the hallway. She's kind of like, And so she said that she would handle it. And so JJ, walked away or whatever. And Jennifer was, checking her phone messages. And Daniel was talking with Maxine about a patient. And Jennifer was kind of snarky and was like, I'll be back. I'm going off-site to run an errand. Just to say that. And they were both like, whatever. And so then when she was waiting at the elevator, Maxine actually left. And so Jennifer took that opportunity to go over and talk to Daniel about Eric. And Daniel said that he did believe that Eric had been drugged. And Jennifer was agreeing or whatever. and said that she was pleased that Eric could rely on Daniel as a friend. And she said she felt naive by, believing that Kristen was a different person. And then Daniel said, sometimes you think you know people, and sometimes you really don't know them at all. And I guess he's referencing, like, Teresa. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, and then Jennifer told him that the dinner for the top 10 doctors was postponed. He kind of just nodded and said that he wasn't planning on attending the dinner anyway. And then Jennifer, agreed that it was best that he did not attend. Really, Jennifer? Really? But whatever. She thinks she's the good one in this situation.
Little she does. Know. And I can't wait till she gets hers. And she will.
Yes. Yeah, she's going to have a rude awakening.
Uh-huh.
So she kind of said goodbye or whatever and left. Well, then JJ walks around the corner and just kind of was just staring at Daniel. And then Daniel kind of motioned down the hallway to get him to go down there. Do you see what
very discreet.
Yes. They're funny. Then it's just so funny because I don't know, it's like they're trying to hide it, but then JJ keeps popping up to talk to him every few days or whatever.
He's not being very discreet.
No.
Daniel told him to be careful.
He's supposed to stay away.
Uh-huh.
And which is leading me into my little next discussion. Daniel was like, I told you to stay away from me. And then he said, well, Teresa's parents came to visit, and they want to talk to Mom, and I'm kind of worried about what Teresa might have remembered from that night. And he's always, he's like, I don't know what she's going to do. I don't know what she's going to remember. And Daniel just said if she had not remembered, then by now, then more than likely she's not going to ever remember what happened that night.
Like Eric, remember? Eric didn't remember. Uh-huh.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then he told JJ that it was a terrible idea to talk to Teresa because he had went to her apartment to see how she was, to see if she had remembered anything. So he was like, that was a terrible idea. What were you thinking? Going off. And then he said, he talked about how things were going between him and Jennifer. And JJ mentioned that Jennifer cried when he had his guitar in the living room. And so Daniel kind of smiled about it and said that he remembered Jennifer talking about how well that JJ actually had played the guitar from before. And that she was so proud of him.
The Jennifer and JJ moment where he was playing the guitar, I will admit that was a very, very sweet moment.
It was. And so he just JJ kind of was just sad or whatever, and to the fact that he had to continue to lie to his mom. Because I think deep down he is trying to change.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think. It seems
yeah,
like.
I think. We'll see, I guess. So, moving on. At the Brady Cup, Teresa is terrified. And she's looking at Shane, Kim, Caroline, Kayla, and she asked if they were going to send her back to L.A. to face jail time. And Shane says that, the family was there to help her. And she said, she had her chance and she wanted to prove it. And then Caroline, sweet Caroline, she jumped in and said that she believed that Teresa wanted to change, but that she was concerned that her desire to change would wear off over time, meaning she doesn't think that she's going to stay on the good side. She's Caroline normally always sees the best.
I know, and then it's her
obviously, Sammy's her favorite. I'm kidding.
Right. Her own granddaughter,
she sees the best.
Right. But, yeah. And she didn't have a vest on that day, too, which is something I noticed.
I know. They must have done something with her stylist. But, yes, sweet Caroline, she's so cute. She's been on it forever. So anyway, back on track. She was begging her family. She's I want to stay in Salem. Please, I want to stay in Salem. And Shane said that the family was going to support her, but they were not the only ones who had a say in whether or not she would stay in Salem. So she just looked horrified at that moment. She was like, oh, my gosh, what do you mean?
I think she knew who had another say in it.
Yes. And then she kind of realized, oh, crap, it's Jennifer. So, and about that time, Jennifer walks in, and
she did look good, though. I will admit that. Jennifer was, that dress she had on and her hair.
Yes.
She was
that green dress and that blue jacket.
Yeah.
Super hot. Yeah. I was like, whoa, check her out. Yeah, that was an awesome outfit. I liked it because I was like, I want to buy that outfit. Okay. So, I crack myself up sometimes. No. So anyway, again, Teresa is crying. Well, not like literally crying yet, but she had tears in her eyes. And she was giving a sincere apology to Jennifer. She said she wanted to apologize for being a bitch and for tormenting her. And Teresa explained that she was going to enter the rehab program, and she wanted to make amends with Jennifer because the only way that she could heal is to start amending problems with someone that she's been having problems with, which I didn't know that was a part of the rehabilitation program, but whatever.
Yeah, that's
makes
like
sense.
alcoholics on too, right? Like,
yeah.
Just the. I mean, I'm speaking from past classes, and I've heard like there's a whole, it's like 12 steps.
Yeah.
Multiple steps that you got to go through. Yeah, I don't know.
So I guess she wants to start it off with Jennifer. And she had brought up her relationship with JJ and the things going on with
She
Daniel.
can't protect JJ for the rest of her life.
Right.
She's acting like JJ is 12, and
right.
Let me just bite my
He's
tongue.
a legal adult now.
Yeah, exactly.
So she needs to step back a little bit. I mean, he's got to learn from his mistakes, otherwise he's not going to learn. But I think this overdose with Teresa might have opened his eyes. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Okay, so Jennifer said that Shane and Kimberly wanted her to decide whether or not she had to go back to L.A. or if she remained in Salem. And she said, "You are not allowed to interact with my son ever."
Okay. Like, how's she going to how's she going to stay invisible in Salem? I mean,
I know.
The town's like a kilometer wide. We're going to run into each other eventually.
And then she got this like mean look in her face, and she was like, she threatened her that if she did not avoid JJ, that she would make her life miserable.
Huh.
And I think it's funny that she's talking to her like that in front of her parents, but whatever. So Jennifer just kind of
be upset with how Jennifer was talking to her.
I don't know. I guess maybe they wanted somebody to be hard on her. So I don't know. But anyway, she's threatening to make her life miserable, turns around, walks out of the pub. Kayla follows after her. And she told her that she was pleased by her decision and that Teresa was not the only person that had made mistakes. And Kayla asked Jennifer if she believed that Teresa would turn her life around, and Jennifer said that she doubted that she could do it. So she doesn't think that she can turn her life around.
That's not nice.
I know. You have to give everybody a chance.
Exactly.
But anyway, so Teresa was talking to Shane and Kimberly at the table, and she asked him, can I go ahead and stay in Salem? And Shane noted that he had instructed Jennifer to call if Teresa interfered with her or JJ's life. And they told her that she could stay in town, but they demanded to know what caused her overdose, because they said obviously something else is going on in her life for her to do that. And that's how that storyline ended on Tuesday. Also on Tuesday, Kate was at Club TPD, and T was in there and was saying that Jordan was in there earlier with Gabby and Abby.
I adore T. They need to use him so much more.
Oh, my gosh, he's hilarious. And he, hits on every single girl.
All the ladies love him, he said.
Yeah, he's just trying to get one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rafe was at the lake with Jordan. Will shows up and tells Rafe that Gabby has some news for him, but he didn't say what it was. Nick and Gabby talk about her modeling career. She decides that she's going to take it, and she leaves to call the agency and leaves the baby right there in the stroller with Nick. Whatever. Which, granted, she wasn't gone that long, but still.
Don't even get me started on that.
I was like, seriously, you just walked away from your baby so you could go call this modeling agency and left your baby with the crazy person. But whatever. She doesn't know he's crazy yet. And then Sonny finds out that the gig is in in New York City, Why I said North Carolina.
North Carolina.
That's funny. Anyway, he finds out that her modeling gig is in New York City and calls her a selfish bee.
Oh,
dun,
that was
dun. So that is all that I have to talk about for Tuesday.
Oh, that was an epic ending to Tuesdays. I watched that a couple of times. I had to watch it like 2 or 3 times again. And
I was like, oh, snap.
the karaoke slide is coming out of Sunny.
Yes, definitely. He wasn't thinking. She was like something about a Demira, or I can't remember what she said. And he was like, my last name's Kiriakis. Like, it wasn't a big deal to him. He didn't care.
I think that's on Wednesday's show, so I'm going to get into that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So how Misty ended Tuesday's show is where I'm going to pick up with Wednesday's show. I'm going to discuss the Gabby, Sunny, and Will scenes. Gabby brings Ariana home, puts her down for a nap, and she comes out of Ariana's bedroom, says that Ariana's down for the count. Sunny has just gotten off the phone with the modeling agency, looks at Gabby, and I quote, "You selfish bitch." And I just had to say it. I had to quote it because it was just so awesome. Sunny says, "You're moving to New York with Ari. When were you going to tell us that minor little detail?" Gabby just kind of was standing there with her mouth open. She was like, she couldn't believe that someone would actually speak to her in that tone. Oh, boo. So, Gabby says, "I wasn't trying to hide anything." She says that you and Will wouldn't shut up about how excited you were for me and how I should take this because it's a great opportunity and yada, yada, yada. Sunny says, "Well, if we knew that it was in New York, maybe we wouldn't have been so..." And then Gabby interrupts him and says, "You wouldn't have been so excited for me? This is a chance of a lifetime, and I'm not going to let it go." Now, this woman, I don't know where to start with her, but she needs to check her priorities. I mean, I think she needs to think this through a little more than she is, because I don't think she realizes that how much time she will be spending with Ari once she actually does this modeling career in New York. She's not going to have much time with her. This isn't like a full-time job.
Yeah.
And she's going to be calling a nanny mommy before she calls Gabby mommy.
Mhm.
But anyways, I'll try to just be calm and not be so hateful towards Gabby. Anyways, Sunny says that I can't believe you even considered this. And Gabby says, "Well, why? Because it's not convenient enough for you? Because I would have to take Ariana away, and you would have to, this would affect your life majorly. I mean, if she had to move away with Ari, this would affect not only Will's life, but Sunny's life as well." As Sunny and Gabby are arguing, Will entered. He was out. He just came back from seeing Rafe, I believe. And Gabby, at that point, after some coaxing from Sunny, tells Will that she has to move to New York for her modeling gig. And Will says, "Well, what about Ari?" And Sunny responds by saying, "The baby gets her own first-class ticket, one way." Which I didn't know this, but apparently the modeling agency wants Ariana as well. I didn't remember hearing that, but they want her for a model as well. I didn't hear that in.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But I read that
somewhere.
When
they said that, I was like,
So are they going to start her out on this lettuce-a-day diet so that way she's, model-worthy when she grows up? I can only imagine.
That's pretty funny.
So, Will responds. He says, "You don't want to take our little girl away, do you?" And he had this little puppy dog look on his face. Oh, that poor guy. Gabby tells him about all the incentives there is. There's a fully furnished house that's baby-proof, nanny service, plane service to travel back and forth from New York to Salem once a month. I mean, once a month, really. After what Will has gone through as a child with Sammy and Lucas, do you think he wants to be a part-time father?
No.
And then Gabby responds by saying, "You can come to New York when you want. We can have shared custody." And at which point Will responds by saying, "No, I live shared custody, and we are not doing that to Ari." Exactly. Will is doing his best to not duplicate what went on with his childhood. And a major part of his childhood was being in between his mother and his father. And he doesn't want Ari to go through what he went through. Will thought that everything was going okay, he says to Gabby. And Gabby says that Will and Sonny have been doing great, but this is a dream of hers, and she's not going to let her dream go. Sonny says that everything is happening too fast, and then Gabby kind of growls at him, so to speak. And I think he calls her something, and then Sonny responds by saying, "Honey, I have no problem calling you something," which was just hilarious. I busted out laughing when he said honey or honey. I don't know why. So they're arguing this up Ariana, and Will goes to check on her. So Gabby and Sonny argue quietly, and at which point we see Sonny's curiosity side really come out. He says, "Maybe I know some facts about you that would change the modeling agency's opinion. What if I were to tell the agency about the real Gabby Hernandez and her friend Melanie?" Well. Wouldn't y'all just love to hear that? Please let that happen. Gabby says, "I didn't mean to hurt Melanie." How many times have we heard that? Sonny says, "You didn't mean to hurt Melanie?" Well, you didn't mean to hurt Melanie, but look what happened to her. And then Gabby brings up how if he said anything that this would bring down a lot of people, including Chad. And Gabby says, "Well, how do you think Stefano would feel about you putting his son's life in jeopardy?" And Sonny responds by saying, "You know my last name. You think I care if you stand here and threaten me?" Oh my, that was awesome. Will comes back from taking care of Ariana, and he says that we need to finish this conversation. Will says to tell the modeling agency in Chicago that if they want her that bad, just let her... backtrack, sorry. Will says to tell the modeling agency in New York to transfer her to Chicago. If they want her that bad, why can't they just keep her local? If they want her that bad, why can't they just meet her needs? Why does she have to do what they want if they want her so badly? Gabby says, "You can write anywhere, Will, and Sonny, you can open a club in any town, but I cannot get this job in any town." And Will tells Gabby, "Just don't make a decision until we've talked about this more," because Gabby is over this because she feels like she's being double-teamed, and she just leaves. She leaves, and Sonny says, "Okay," or no, Will. He said, like, he was so awkward when she left. She's like, I think he said, "Okay, bye, talk to you later." He's like real like nice. It was like real awkward. I don't know. It's just awkward. Anyways, after she left, Sonny gets on the phone to call who? Justin. After he got off the phone, Sonny says that Gabby holds all the cards, so to speak, based on the contract, the modeling contract, that is. He says that it will look like a good deal for the courts. Sonny says that the best thing that they can do now if they want to win is, if they want to keep Ari in Salem, go to family court and prove that she is an unfit mother. Because in any other court, they lose because there is no formal custody agreement. And Will is very adamant that he does not want to bring Gabby down. But if Will knew the truth about what Gabby did to Melanie, I'm sure he would have no problem taking this BITCH and burying her. Okay, I said I wasn't going to get too overdramatic, but I did. So there's a knock on the door, and Sonny said he was going to get it, but Will got up and got it. And he looks through the peephole and turns around and looks at Sonny with kind of like an awkward smile, and he opens the door, and it's Grammy Sammy.
Yay!
She comes in, and she can tell automatically there's something wrong, something that they're not telling her. And we will not know, or Sammy will not find out until Thursday's show. So the other things on Wednesday, that's all I have for that storyline. Very good. That was a very great, amazing episode there. I like the... I don't want to say I like the drama. I mean, I do. It annoys me sometimes, depending on who the drama is centered around. I mean, sometimes this Gabby drama is getting old because I feel like it's recycled, if you know what I mean. Like, Gabby's drama is centered around Will and Sonny. I kind of feel like that's recycled. I mean, that's all it is, including Nick. But, I mean, I don't know. It's, as long as the Days writers can tell it, you know, write a good story, I'm all for it, and they're writing it very wonderfully. Okay, so the other things on Wednesday that I didn't get in depth with were Eric met with the bishop, and is this when we find out if he is defrocked? I can't remember. If we find, I'm not saying he is or isn't, but I'm saying is it Wednesday or Thursday? I can't remember.
I don't think it was on Thursday, so I think it was Wednesday.
Okay. So on Wednesday we find out from the bishop, because Father Matt has showed the bishop the video. Eric is defrocked. We had some EJ and Sammy scenes as well. This is where I think EJ and Sammy were talking about. EJ tried to get her to take over something in Demir Enterprises. One of the, I don't know, is it the fashion and one of the departments of Demir Enterprises. We also had some Nicole and A scenes where A came over to Daniel's apartment because that's where Nicole is. I mean, why is it that everybody in Salem wants to have just a leisurely conversation inside Daniel's apartment? I mean, we see Maggie over there. We see Hope over there. I mean, Ann comes over there half the time. JJ does. I mean, Nicole lives there now. Abe came over to have a conversation with her. I mean, what is it about his apartment that is so amazing? I don't know.
It's convenient.
Oh, okay. Good explanation. We also had some EJ and Abby scenes, which got all the EJ and Abby fans squealing because, thought something was going to happen. And we also had some Shane. I forgot to talk to Shane and Kimberly. This was Shane and Kimberly's last episode. Hold on, let me back up. I wanted to mention something. What was Abby wearing on that episode? I mean, it looked like she came straight out of, not to be mean, but it looked like she came out of a welfare office. I mean, I don't understand what I know everyone has their own style, but this is I don't know. It's just not. It's not the typical style that you see most soap characters wearing. I kind of feel like this style is what Kate Mansai wears. No, I'm not dissing her or her style, but it's just something I'm used to, I guess, is what I should say. And maybe I shouldn't have, been so rude, but it's just not something I'm used to. Anyway, sorry. So, again, this was Shane and Kimberly's last episode. I was going to get into that, but I don't feel like it. Shane, Kim, see, my notes are all messed up because I had the Shane and Kim stuff in between the Will and Sonny and Gabby stuff. But anyways, we had some sweet scenes towards the end with Teresa and Kimberly. Kimberly was telling her how when she was young, she was kind of neglectful, but she just, not neglectful, but very, very strict with her, especially when she started seeing boys. It was because Kimberly saw a lot of herself in Teresa, and she didn't want to let Teresa go. I mean, I think that's basically every parent. They don't want to let their child go. They don't want them to grow up and move on. But anyways, Teresa and Kimberly ended up making up at the end, and Teresa is glad that Shane and Kimberly had come to help her. Shane and Kimberly tell their goodbyes to Teresa and Caroline, and Teresa tells Caroline as they leave, she says, they really love this place. And Caroline responds to Teresa and says, and given time, you will too. Which I thought was a very poignant ending to those scenes. So, that's all I have for Wednesday show. I typed out my notes this week instead of writing them, and it's a lot easier than writing them out, because I can type faster than I can write, so I think I'm going to do that from now on.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to throw it over to Misty to talk about Thursday's show.
Okay. I was going to talk about Marlene and Victor, but I changed my mind. I'm going to continue with the Will, Sonny, and Gabby. Okay. They're in Will and Sonny's apartment, and Sammy, had already shown up, and so Will told her that he didn't want to talk to her about what was going on with Gabby. But, of course, Sammy's like, I'm not going to leave or she's going to track down Gabby and have Gabby tell her, or she's not going to leave, one of the two, until she knows what's going on. So Will stopped Sammy because he said the situation is none of her business. But then Sonny was really nice and reminded Will that she didn't have a stake in the matter. And so Will reluctantly went ahead and told Sammy that Gabby's modeling job was in New York and that Gabby planned to move there with Ariana. And Sammy, her initial expression or whatever it was, the hell she is. Waking up the baby in the process.
Ariana's a very light sleeper.
So Sonny went to take care of Ariana so that Will could continue his conversation with Sammy, and she was just, like, trying to understand how Gabby expected to raise the baby alone in New York with a full-time modeling career.
Exactly.
Which, yeah, she has a point. So, for once, Sammy has a point. And then Will explained that the modeling agency had made living arrangements for her. They were going to provide child care. And then Sammy sarcastically asked, oh, did they get a new daddy for her, too?
I was just tweeting about that today because I just rewatched Thursday's show. That was hilarious. That was the best.
Will told her that apparently he was allowed to visit anytime he wanted, giving the money that he didn't have to pay for the travel expenses.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice of Gabby to let him see her daughter whenever he wants? That's
but he couldn't afford to get there.
All right.
And then the modeling agency was also willing to pay for Gabby to come home to Salem for a few days, once per month.
Aww.
How nice. I know. He can see his baby once per month.
So sweet.
Aw, she's so thoughtful. And so then Sammy was kind of like, what? There's no way they're giving her this deal. That's like a fairy tale. No modeling agency in their right mind would give a client that contract.
And she knows because she has taken in clients for modeling.
Right.
For Countess Wilhelmina or whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah, Countess Wilhelmina. And then Will kind of, was just like, well, it's her dream job and she's obsessed with it. So pretty much she's going to do it. And so then Sammy says, Gabby needs to get real. She's saying that there's no way that she's going to move Ariana to New York. So Will told Sammy, stay out of it, because he could sense that Sammy was about to go overboard.
Of course. When doesn't she?
And then, yes. So he was like, oh, my God, she's going to make things worse. And so Sonny comes back and says that Sammy's interference would only make things worse. And he assured her that he would handle the situation himself because he was Ariana's father. And then Sammy, of course, she just insisted that she was just looking out for him and that she couldn't even believe that Gabby was considering to do this.
Samantha Jean.
Really? She couldn't believe that? But whatever. I could believe it. But anyway, so then Sonny said, that Gabby was allowed to have her own life and that he understood her point of view. He had his club, Will had his writing, Cameron was going to go with that Doctors Without Borders, and she simply wanted to make, her mark in the world. And Will agreed. He couldn't blame her because it was an incredible opportunity that fell in her lap. And then Sammy, she was like, wow, I can't even listen to the two of you. You sound like you're ready to just hand the baby over. Like, you want to pack her bags too? Drive her to the airport?
Exactly. That's why that was my exact feeling as I was watching it. Exactly. That's I love Sammy most days.
I know. I do too. And then Will sarcastically confirmed that he and Sonny might do exactly just that. So Sammy grabbed her phone and she said that she was gonna send EJ a text message. And
EJ makes everything better, right?
Yeah.
He never makes anything
worse. But before she could do anything, Will grabbed her phone and begged her to let him handle the situation. Sammy wanted to know what Will had planned on doing, and he just replied that he wasn't going to get in Gabby's face and start yelling at her, that he wanted her, he's not going to forbid her to live her own life because that would just make things worse and make her want to take the job more than she already does. Which he has a point, because I could see her doing that just to be spiteful. So, yeah. So I'm glad he's taken the easy route. Or is he? Because Kate. Anyway, sorry. Let's not get into that yet. So Sammy just kind of was like, okay, fine, I agree, whatever. I'll stay out of it.
That was too easy.
Yeah. And so she leaves. And then Sonny was like, oh, my gosh, is she really going to stay out of it? And Will was like, I wouldn't count on it. They know her all too well. So then, later, Will comes out from Gabby's bedroom with a baby, And he said that she had given up on trying to sleep because she could sense that there was drama in the air. So he told Will. Oh gosh! So he told Will that T was going to handle the things at the club so that Sonny could spend the rest of the day with Will. But he said they had a few errands to run, and he wanted to take care of that first. So he kissed Will and the baby and said that everything was going to be all right.
Aww. Ariana really loves him. Ariana always stares right at. It's so cute. I can't even describe it. It's too cute.
Yes. That's how that storyline ended. Also on Thursday, Victor and Marlena had a very interesting, fun conversation about what Victor had done and about how he did not tell Marlena that it was Eric on that video. Victor had a lot of hilarious quotes in that episode. I'll just say that. And then also Gabby was talking to T, which is funny. Then Sonny shows up and apologizes to Gabby and said that they need to be civil with one another. I guess that was the errand he needed to run. Was to go tell her, hey, let's be friends, so to say. And then Abby and EJ have a talk about Chad, and EJ lets her know that Chad's not going to be returning to Salem for the time being, and that what he did out of love.
Aw, yeah, okay. That's just Amira's way of love. And then Abby comes over to visit Will, and they talk about the baby and how he's a good daddy and how she's lucky to have a mommy, a daddy, and an extra daddy. Extra daddy. That's what she's going to call Sonny when she grows up.
You're my extra daddy. And then EJ and Sammy talked for a little bit because he saw her in the club. He could clearly tell that something was wrong or that something was bothering her. But I don't think she told him what was bothering her at that time.
No, she didn't.
So, that is all for Thursday.
Okay, which leads us into the last episode of the week, Cliffhanger Friday. And I am going to continue with the Sonny and Will stuff because, well, that's just a major part of what went on the week. So, I think Abigail had left on Thursday's show and went home, so she was already gone. And Kate had arrived at Sonny and Will's with a gift for Ariana's 6th birthday. So we know how old Ariana is. She's 6 months old, so woohoo. But Kate can see that the guys are not in a very celebratory mood at the moment, and they don't waste any time telling Kate that Gabby wants to move to New York with Ariana. Which is kind of funny because they were very hesitant to tell Sammy, but they were not hesitant to tell Kate. Since they already told Sammy, they figured that Kate would probably find out sooner or later, so they just, I don't know.
They told her more willingly.
I know. It was awkward. I don't know.
I think that they figured she would handle situations the way that they want her to, but in a more discreet, a more discreet manner.
Right.
So I would have told Kate because she might give her some brownies. You never know. I'm just kidding.
I love that. That's awesome. Okay. Anyways, after they told Kate about Gabby and Ariana, Kate flashes to Nick saying, and flashes meaning that she runs to Nick. She finds him in the square. And wait, back up. I didn't take notes for Friday, so I'm looking at another venue here for notes. Kate has a flashback to Nick telling her that he is also moved to New York. Okay. All right, I got that. I got it. Kate tells them that they'll just have to change Gabby's mind. She said she won't let anyone take Ariana from them. I actually had a direct quote, which is kind of just the same thing. I'm going to do everything I have to do. No one, including her mother, is going to take little Ariana away from us.
Boom.
When Kate says something like that, you know it's going to happen.
Yep. Brownie. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Back on track here. Kate leaves, and she texts Nick while Sonny, back at the apartment, worries that Will is going to do something crazy, like, see, I should have taken my own notes. It would have been easier. Kate leaves and texts Nick while Sonny worries Will is going to do something crazy like kidnap Ari. That doesn't, I don't know, that doesn't make sense because I don't remember that. Anyways, Will won't, but he's decided to talk to EJ about getting a job in New York. Huh. Why don't I remember this from Friday? This was just a couple of days ago. Why can't I remember any of this? Oh, I'm so bad. I apologize, everybody. Will can get transferred to NYU. Let me tell you, transferring is very easy. Most schools don't take credits from certain classes that you take, so just heads up, Will, transferring is not very easy. Sonny says that he can't go. Will asks him not to make him choose between Ariana and Sonny. That was kind of tense at the moment right there with them two. Should I get into the Kate and Nick scenes? Yeah, why not? Kate meets Nick at the Horton Town Square and calls him a SOB, which for anyone that doesn't know that's a son of a bitch. For going to New York with Gabby and the baby. Nick shrugs it off like it's nothing, and she blows up. But he asserts that he's not trying to take Ari from her father. Liar, liar, liar. That is exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to get Ariana for himself. To prove he's a good person, he hands over the new project he's been working on for Kate on the house. She takes it, and he goes. Then Kate decides that she needs to talk to Sammy, but she is surprised when she sees that Sammy texts her first. Now, let's see. Did Sammy and Kate meet up on Friday's show? Because I wanted to get into that if they did. I can't remember. I don't think they met up. Did they?
Who? Sorry.
Sammy and Kate, did they meet up on Friday's show?
Yes.
They did?
I thought they did, because I thought they talked about... No, Sammy talked to Gabby about...
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I know, not horrible. I just watched Fridays.
I know.
I'm worse than you. I'm kidding, because I watched it after you did.
This is sad. Oh, wait, no, they did. Here, hold on. Breaking news, I found it. It happened. Okay.
I thought they did. I can't remember.
Sammy and Kate meet. We have a problem, Sammy says. Kate shocks Sammy with the news that Gabby is taking Nick with her. And let me just say that Sammy's jaw drops to the floor. She is not going to let that psychopath take her granddaughter to New York. We know that for a fact. So I'm glad we got that all straightened out. Phew. Okay. So the other things that happened, Daniel and Nicole made out, but they agreed it's never going to happen again. Just very casual make out, and no, never going to happen again. Whatever. We had some very nice Jordan and Rafe scenes. It seems like they're getting very, very close. Rafe and Jordan, look out, next super couple. Well, I won't go far saying super couple, but maybe next couple. Eric goes to the pub, runs into Jennifer. We had Jennifer and Eric scenes, which was kind of odd. You never really see Jennifer and Eric together. I don't really feel like talking about Jennifer because she's not worth our time, so I'm not going to get into that. Gabby visits Rafe at the hospital. I don't really want to talk about Gabby either. And then Nick and Gabby visit each other. I don't want to talk about that either. But that's the majority of what happened on Friday's show. And that is all that happened on last week's days. So, let's see. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention. Happy belated birthday to Misty. I want to do that at the end of the show. I was going. It feels weird saying it at the end of the show, but I want to say it at the beginning. Anyways, hope you had a good birthday last week.
I did. I feel older. Just kidding.
Most people never do, though, when it's their birthday.
Yeah, I don't really feel older. But it was a better birthday than my 30th birthday. Turning 35, I finally realized I can't get any younger, so I might as well embrace each year.
There you
go. But I'm
go.
getting older. Yeah, my 30th birthday was not a happy day. I did not want to be 30. I was like, I do not want to be 30. I was miserable. It was awful. But this birthday was good.
Well, that's good.
It's a milestone. It's a 5-year milestone. 5 more years, I'll be over the hill. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Oh, boy.
And I wasn't as sick on my birthday as I have been, so that was a plus.
So you're feeling better then?
Yes. I don't know if you all can tell. My voice might sound a little bit scratchy, but I feel like so much better. I thought I was dying last week. So.
And that's why we didn't have a show last week for anybody that were wondering. We decided to cancel because Misty wasn't feeling that well. So,
yes.
But luckily she's feeling better this week.
Yes. And I have spoilers. Do you want to hear them?
Yeah.
Okay. Yay for spoilers. Okay. So, days, of course, is preempted for Thursday and Friday for the holiday, so it will not be on. So there's only Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Nick's true intentions are revealed to Gabby, resulting in a shocking blow for them both. Kate and Sammy are thrust into an alarming state of affairs. A new job assignment leads to a difficult task for Nicole. I wonder what that is. Because I don't know if she took that one job that she was offered.
The TV station?
Yeah.
I
don't know. But Eric's quest for the truth leads him to a familiar source.
Martha.
Martha. Oh, Martha. EJ remains in the hot seat in the wake of Kristen's disappearance. And EJ and Brady battle it out once again. Longtime rivals meet again. Brady's search for Kristen may lead him on an even darker path. And Will is left alone after an argument sends Sonny away. Oh!
Oh, snap.
No!
Uh-oh.
Victor is burned after a lashing from Caroline due to his part in hurting Eric. That should be interesting. Can't wait for that. And then a guilty conscience may make JJ rethink his ways and find a way to help others.
Well, look at that turnaround.
I know.
Kind of makes you not want to believe it.
That's all the spoilers I have.
Okay. So, can you all hear me all right? Am I coming in pretty clear?
You're coming in pretty clear. You have a little bit of a break here and there, but
okay.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I just wasn't sure how we should close the show. If I was going to let you do it or let myself do it. I don't know. Well, I guess if I'm talking anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and close the show for tonight. So I think that's anything and everything about last week's days. Got everything from last week, and you have the spoilers coming up for this. So you're set to go for the week of 11/25. Before we end our show tonight, we'd like to remind you all to follow us on Twitter. Just search. You should be able to find our page very easily. Our logo is an glass. Also, check out airnationradio.com because they're on my site, airnationradio.com. Check it out. And follow Air Nation Radio on Twitter at Air Nation Radio. Check us out on iHeartRadio. All of the Air Nation Radio. So, everybody joined us. Had a great time. I hope you did too. And next week, there will not be a show. Next weekend, which I believe is December 1st, we will not have a show due to the holiday weekend. We, along with the rest of the Air Nation Radio Network, will be taking a week off for the holiday. So, we all hope you have a great holiday, and we will talk again soon. So, for Common Ground Radio, this is Brandon.
I'm Misty.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Good night.
You've been listening to Common Ground Radio with hosts Brandon and Misty on the Air Nation Radio Network. Thank you for joining us.